Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here, recording my second video of the day from my office. Today is the return of movie reviews. Get excited! I know I am. Today I'm going to briefly be reviewing the movie Sully, starring Tom Hanks. It's based on the true story of Captain Chelsea Sullenberger, I believe is his name. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that. But he always just went by Captain Sully. The reason this man's story is impressive is because in 2009, I think it was sometime in January, Sully actually had an emergency landing after both engines on his plane went out, and they ended up having to land in the Hudson River in New York City. This was a huge deal because, in New York City, if he hadn't landed in the Hudson, then he very well could have flown into very populated buildings, and it would have been a true disaster. But instead, they ended up landing on the Hudson River, and no spoilers, but all 155 people that were on board survived. It was astonishing. This movie kind of dives into what happened in the days following the landing. It dives into, the airline's insurance people and the, I believe, National Transit Safety Board, NTSB, how they had to investigate this plane crash. And it's a really good movie. It's a very serious movie. It's a very, very, very serious movie. There were a couple times in the movie when it gets extremely emotional, especially when we see the reaction of the passengers on the plane who just survived this emergency landing. It's an extremely emotional movie, but it's a very good movie. It's extremely well made. The acting is absolutely phenomenal. My biggest problem with this movie was casting, because anyone who's familiar with the show Breaking Bad from a few years back, the character who played, the actress who played the character Skylar White on Breaking Bad, is in this movie. And I just hate her. And I feel bad sometimes because it's not really the actress's fault. The actress, Anna Gunn, it's really not her fault. It was actually really good casting and writing on the part, and acting on the part of Breaking Bad is why I hate her so much. So it's really not her fault. But just seeing her almost ruined the movie for me. It almost ruined Sully for me. She's one of the members of the NTSB panel, or whatever you want to call it, that was investigating this crash. And when I first saw this movie, I knew I wanted to see it, because I love just movies. I love acting. I love kind of emotion being shown in movies. And this movie has, like I said, great acting and great storytelling. Storytelling in this movie, there are times when for a few minutes it gets a little confusing because they don't do a good job explaining ahead of time, hey, this is a flashback. They really should have done a better job explaining what's a flashback, because there are times in the movie uh, when there are flashbacks, and there are times in the movies when it's daydreaming or fantasizing, or having like bad daydreams on the part of Sully on what would have happened if he hadn't successfully landed in the river. Um, but I highly recommend this movie for anyone enjoys who really enjoys movies and acting, storytelling, uh, directing, anything like that. I'm just trying to, explain why this movie was so good. It's not necessarily like a documentary, even though it is a true story. And of course, I don't know exactly how true to the facts this movie was, because even though I was 17 in 2009, I really don't remember this happening in real life. I really, really don't remember when this happened, and I don't know why. It seems like it should have been all over the news, but I digress. The important thing is, just go watch this movie. You will not regret it. If you're an easy audience, like I have some people in my family who are extremely easy audiences, and when a sad moment happens in any movie like that, they're crying. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. Uh, if you are like that, be prepared, because there will be some waterworks if you are someone who cries easily at movies. So, anyway, I'm going to call that the end of this video. Uh, if you like seeing these movie reviews, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Both of those links will be in the description. Both of those are at my username, which is PrimetimeCP23. So, until next time, it's PrimetimeCP23, and I'm out.